Hi, everyone. Hi, gorgeous ladies, my ladies of the Ready for Love Facebook group. I'm going to turn on my inspirational music. I love this music. Hi, everyone. So, welcome to the live. Today, I'm going to be answering questions for those of you who recently went through the masterclass. And I have a powerful message for you today and a wake-up call. But before we get there, I just want to celebrate. I want to celebrate the hundreds of women who signed up for the masterclass, because we are a community of women and we are going to change the world one woman at a time. That really is my goal. For me, my purpose is to help the world become a better place by helping one woman at a time learn to love herself and value herself and respect herself and accept herself. Because when a woman can show up that way, she is powerful. She's vulnerable. She's authentic. She can have intimacy anytime, anywhere, any place with anyone when she wants to. And when we show up that way in the world, we give other people permission to show up that way in the world. And imagine what that might be like if we're not hiding from one another. We're not afraid to reveal our real selves to one another. What would that be like? Oh my God. So I'm celebrating all of you who signed up for my masterclass, because becoming the one is not tied to the outcome of finding the one. Yes, when you do this work on yourself, you will find love with somebody who is an energetic match for you. It's inevitable. I just believe that is possible. But we do this for the intrinsic value of doing the work for ourselves, because that's how we want to show up in the world, in that way. And if we don't do this work during this lifetime, we have not lived our life's purpose. That is why we are here. I believe that. That is my opinion, but I truly believe that we are born worthy. We are born confident, whole, and enough. And slowly our life experiences chisel away at that and chip away at that. And for the few 1% select women who wake up and are aware of that, the consciousness, we become aligned with a new path where we decide that we are going to come back full circle to our own sense of worthiness, just the way we were when we were born, in that state of perfection. So, ladies, oh my God, I'm celebrating you for being here. I'm celebrating you for doing the masterclass, and I'm celebrating those of you who have taken it to the next level to continue the conversation with me by signing up for the Ready for Love DIY or the Ready for Love VIP, whichever level, because it is a conversation that you will have with me for the whatever time it takes you to go through this experience and journey, to have my mentorship, my coaching, my support, my team, all of us supporting you and loving you. And when that time is done with us, you get to go live your life, this improved, healthier, happier, whole version of you. It's a gift that keeps giving, and you have decided to give that gift to yourself. And I'm just celebrating that. I am so grateful to you for just being willing to do that. And so that is what we are going to be talking about today. And so first of all, put an I did in the comments section if you signed up for the masterclass most recently, not during our October live, but if you signed up and you joined and you paid your $33. And above that, beyond that, I want to know if you have actually been watching the videos and doing the homework. That's really what is really important, is to not just sign up and then not do anything, but to sign up and follow through, because your word must mean something. How many times have you guys signed up to do something and then you don't follow through. I've done it hundreds of times. What about when you sign up for something that's free? Are you more likely to just not do it? I've signed up for many webinars and haven't done them. I've signed up for lots of things that were free and I haven't done them. I've also signed up for things that were inexpensive and didn't bother doing them because I didn't value them. You just started to watch them. Yay, so good. So one of the reasons that we as a company charge the level of investment for our products and our services and our programs is because we want women to learn to be accountable to themselves, that your word must mean something. If you say you're going to do it, then you must do it. And how many times have you said you're going to lose weight and you don't, or you're going to quit smoking and you don't, or you're going to break up with the guy and then you don't? Over time, what that does is it's like acid erosion, slowly eating away at your ability to trust yourself. And now you learn that you can't be trusted. Just like if a friend were to ghost you or flake on you or show up late every time, or your friend is telling you that she's going to quit smoking or break up with the guy and she never does, you learn that her word doesn't really mean anything. And when you do that to yourself, you learn that you can't trust yourself. And that is what keeps us stuck from transcending our current status quo. Okay? So that's what we're going to talk about today. And I wanted to start by telling you guys a fun story. And I forgot all about this. And when I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about today, it just popped into my head out of nowhere. I haven't thought about this story in years. And so when I was about 14 or 15, I went to Florida for spring break with a friend and her family. And everyone decided, the family decided that the activity for the day was we were going to go parasailing. Oh my God. Parasailing, if you don't know, is when you're on a sail and you're kind of harnessed in and you're attached to a speedboat. And so when the speedboat takes off, it lifts you off the ground and you just sail way up high above the water. Well, I was scared shitless and I didn't do it. I wasn't going to do it. Everyone, all of her siblings and the other people that were there, I think each kid brought a friend. So there were a lot of us. I wasn't going to do it. I was so scared. I just couldn't do it. And so one by one, I watched everyone else have their turn. And it took a long time. And that there I sat with this internal conflict. I felt shame. I felt fear. I was feeling so disappointed in myself. I had all this self-recrimination and self-loathing. Why am I such a chicken? I'm totally missing out. I was so embarrassed. I was the one who didn't belong. I was the one kid who wasn't going to do it. Okay. It scared me so bad. And then something took over and my mind overrode my fear of doing it. And I made the decision. It's almost like it wasn't even me. I made the decision to do it. And you're not going to guess what happened. I was the last person to go. And I'm up there. And it's exhilarating and fun and peaceful and beautiful. And I'm like a little breathless and I'm looking down and everybody looks really small because I'm up so high. And then out of nowhere, the wind started to pick up. Really strong wind gusts. And it got dark and it got cloudy and it started to rain. And my sail filled up with the wind. The wind filled my sail. And all of a sudden, I was in control of the boat. The boat wasn't in control of me. And I was pulling the boat. And they lost control of me. And I landed in the water instead of on the shore. And the sail was still full of wind. And it pulled me all the way from the middle of the ocean to the shore, up the shore, all the way through the sand, all the way up to the road. Holy shit. Of course, I was the scared one, and that happened to me. I went last. But guess what? I had the best story, and I wasn't scared. I was laughing, and it was so fun, and it was exhilarating and thrilling. And oh my God, you guys, what could have been my worst fear? I couldn't have imagined that would be the thing that would happen to me. And that's what happened. And I'm not making this up. I did it. I did that. I had that whole experience. It wasn't anywhere close to what I thought would happen. And it was a wild ride. And I survived, and I had the best story to tell. And what I learned was I can do it. I can do it. Worst case scenario, it's not going to be that bad. And so the reason I'm telling this story is because I sat on the sideline and watched as everyone else took their turn and had fun. And I felt all these mixed emotions on the side of, on the beach, watching one by one as everybody else went and laughed and talked about their fun time. And I was going to opt out. And the longer you sit on the sidelines, hemming and hawing, waiting and wondering and wishing and hoping and praying and dreaming and going round and back and forth with yourself, the more time passes you by. And how many opportunities will you miss? This is about dating and getting out there. It's about being in a relationship with someone and revealing your true self. It's about taking all kinds of risks in this world and stepping into that version of you who can do it. And if you don't trust yourself, you never will. You'll never do it. If you dip your toe in the water to see how cold it is, you're seeking information about whether you're going to do something or not. If it's too cold, you won't do it, right? And what I want you to know is we test the waters in our life for far too long. And how fast you can trust yourself to take whatever comes your way, how fast you can trust yourself will determine how quickly you get what you want, how quickly you change something in your life that isn't working, how fast you achieve your goal. Okay? When you are afraid, ultimately the fear is that you can't handle it. You don't trust yourself that no matter what happens, you're going to be okay. So you dip your toe in to see how cold the water is. And the coldness confirms your fear, right? Just like me. Inside, I really wanted to do the sailing. I wanted to, but my mind kept saying, no, what if? That's scary. Holy shit, that's high. Oh my God, no. So I had this internal battle between the inside of me that really wanted to do it and my mind that was telling me no, right? If the water is too cold, your mind will tell you no. Okay. But your mind has the power to override that. And you can decide, I'm going in anyway. The water's freezing. I will tell you right now, the water is freezing out there. Shit can happen. It may very well happen. It may not, but it may. And if it does, are you equipped and ready to handle it? Do you want to risk everything for what it is that you want? Because if you're not willing to risk it, you will not be rewarded. Right? Fortune favors the brave, ladies. Somebody made that quote famous, and I don't know who it was. Fortune favors the brave. So I will tell you right now, the water's fucking freezing. It is so cold, but there's always someone out there in the water. Do you want to play in the water and have fun? Or are you going to dip your toe in and decide that that's not for you? Okay. Water's cold. So are you going or not? Everything that you want is in the water. Everything you want is out there. So do you want to be a 90-year-old little old lady sitting on the park bench watching everybody play frisbee in the park and walk their dogs and go for runs and sit there and be a voyeur? Or do you want to be the 90-year-old woman who looks back on her life with no regrets? And instead of saying, how the heck did I get here? You said, I meant to be here exactly where I am today. I did this and this and this and this and this and this and this. That's what this is about. So the wake-up call message today, you guys, is all about that if you really want to have the relationship that you say you want here and that you feel in your body and in your heart, then you have to get to a place where you are overriding all the fear and the doubt and the ambivalence and the anxiety and the shame, and make a powerful decision that you're getting out there. Did I go on that parasailing thing without a life jacket on? No. Was I all tied up and had my harness on? Yes. Did the guy give me instructions about which side to pull and when, and then when they blow the whistle? Yes. I was taught what to do. I was coached on it. I was, had all my safety gear on, and then I did it. And even when the worst thing happened, I was okay. I was more than okay. I was thrilled because I learned what I'm capable of. I learned that when the worst thing can happen, I'm still okay. I can trust myself that no matter what happens, I'm going to be okay. That is how you will get off the bench and get out there and date when you haven't done it in 15 years or 10 years or 5 years. It's how you will go on a date and not hide or shapeshift or people please or accommodate or be agreeable or pretend to be somebody you're not, and instead just be you. And it's how, when you are in an early, tender, fragile stages of a new relationship, you will stay true to yourself at every turn. You will be fully expressed. You will say what you need to say and not say what you think you need to say. It takes courage and it takes being brave to decide that the water is really cold, but I want it anyway, so I'm going and I'm just going to jump in. No more dipping the toe in. None of that. Okay? So later on, when I was 21, 22, some of you may know this story. You guys with me? Let me see. Hold on. I don't see my video here. I'm going to tell you another story. When I was 22, I bought a one-way ticket to Italy, and I was all by myself. Hi, everybody. Oh, good to see you. Okay. I didn't have any comments. I guess you guys were just listening. Aloha. I bought a one-way ticket to Italy. 22, me, my backpack, and my camera, and my bikini. And that's it. My journal. And I was gone for 7 or 8 months. I traveled from Italy to Greece, to Israel, to Sinai Peninsula, to India, to Nepal, to Malaysia, to Singapore, to Indonesia, and then back to LA and home again. And while I was there doing all this crazy dirtbag backpack traveling, my whole mentality was, bring it on, world. What you got for me? Bring it on. What am I made of? That's what I was doing. I wanted to test myself and see what I was capable of. And there were some really scary moments. I would ride on the top of the rickety old buses in Nepal in case the bus tumbled off the side of the narrow road through the Himalayas. I trekked the Annapurna circuit for 21 days. I rode on the top of the buses in case the bus toppled off the side of the mountain. I was the only white face in a sea of Indian men, which many of you women of color understand what that's like. But as a 22-year-old white girl, I had not experienced that. And I wanted that experience. Not only was it mostly, it was all Indian people, but I didn't speak the language. It was mostly all men. Okay. I'm on this bus. It was scary. I was on a little overnight charter boat from the mainland of Indonesia to a teeny tiny little island of people that wear loincloths and have tattoos, and there's no cars. And I swear we almost capsized that night. I thought I was going to die. Okay. All of those things scared me when I was there, but I wanted it because I wanted to know what I'm made of, what I'm capable of. I was testing myself. But you know what? I came home and I thought, oh my God, I did that. I can do anything, but I couldn't because I was scared shitless of intimacy. I realized that part of my journey to discover what I'm capable of and who I am and to differentiate myself from all the expectations of what my parents wanted me to be and what society tells me I'm supposed to do after college was part of my experience. But the other part, I thought, was to prove to myself something. And I came home and I was still scared. I couldn't have a relationship. I didn't know what I was doing. And so the scariest thing of all was looking here. Wasn't looking out there. The scariest thing of all was here. That's what I'm talking about right now, Amy. My clients jump out of airplanes. They walk into the courtroom and kick ass. They walk into the emergency room and save people. They go to the operating room and perform like crazy things. They stand in the boardroom with all these powerful people. My clients do the craziest things, but jumping out of airplanes isn't scary for them. Intimacy is scary. It was scary for me. None of that stuff, as scary as it was actually that scary. But letting someone into my world, letting someone close to see who I really am with all my messed up stuff inside of me was really scary. So my greatest adventure, despite all of that travel and more that came after that I didn't even tell you about, my greatest adventure was me. It was right here the whole time. And the work that I needed to do wasn't out there. It was here the whole time. And I tell you, my commitment to continuing to evolve myself and grow myself, I signed on with a coach at that time. And within 3 months, I met my husband. I met the person when I was ready for him and I knew what to do. And I felt the fear every moment with him along the way. And I allowed that. I allowed it. I created that. Together we created that. We even talked about how scary it was. We both said, oh my God, I can't believe I have a boyfriend. Oh my God, I can't believe I have a girlfriend. What if I fuck it up? We had that conversation early on. So the biggest fear of all isn't out there, you guys. The biggest fear is here and being brave enough to look within. I can't tell you how many times my team and I speak to thousands of women who want our help. We do about 200 breakthrough calls a month. And we only invite about 40% of the women into our program. And some women say no. And they have the money even. It's not even about the money. They say things like, what if I look and I don't like what I see? What if I can't do it? What if I can't change? It's mostly, what if I don't like what I see? If you look at yourself and you don't like what you see, how do you expect that anyone else is going to like what they see? You'll never let them see it. That's the thing. You'll never let them see it. And whether you look at all that stuff or not, it is in there. And it is dictating every move you make, everything you do. So why not just take the plunge? Plug your nose, take a deep breath, and plunge. And take a look at all that stuff that is in there so that it is not ruling over you, but instead you are in charge. You are deciding. You become self-defining, self-determining, fully autonomous, with dominion in your life, over your life. You become the pilot. You are at the wheel. And now you are that 90-year-old woman sitting on the park bench, feeling fortified, saying, I meant to get here. This is exactly the life I was meant to live. I intentionally designed the life that I wanted. I didn't miss out on anything, and I have zero regrets. That's what I want for you guys. You ended up expressing your intimacy fears in a sloppy way that was super upsetting for the man I was dating, and he abruptly and completely ended it. I'm still working through how painful that experience was. 3 months later, so many fears about having blown. Oh my gosh, I know it is the most painful thing to look back and see how maybe you fucked it up. Maybe you made a mistake. Maybe you'd foot in mouth. Maybe you just weren't ready. But part of what we do in the Ready for Love program is we help you see where you've gone wrong in the past so you can feel empowered and trust yourself not to do that again, because we then equip you with the tools and the skills and the information and the knowledge and the awareness to move forward confidently instead of feeling doubtful, and to trust yourself instead of feeling doubtful. And it takes courage to look inside and to do that work, but it is the most rewarding thing. Ladies, most of you have done work on yourselves. You've gone to therapy on and off your whole life or for years. You've read every book on the shelf. You're here watching my free videos. This is dipping your toe in. That's dipping your toe in, information gathering. There's a difference between gathering information and taking action. Okay? And that is doing something that is really going to help you get to the other side of that tunnel, even if what's on the other side feels scary. Because you know what? Fear of failure isn't really the biggest fear. Fear of success is. What if I actually can have a relationship? Oh my God, now what? That's even scarier to think about. Looking at yourself might feel really scary, but what I want you to know is on the other side of that long, dark tunnel that you are stuck in, you are a third of the way through, maybe a quarter of the way through. Some of you are 3/4 of the way through. You're almost there, but you're stuck. The only thing on the other side of that tunnel waiting for you is you. You, your next level self, your future you. Your most ideal, extraordinary version of you is waiting there with open arms. She's waiting like this. You're keeping her waiting. She is waiting and waiting and waiting for you to step out of that tunnel so she can embrace you. That is you. That is what's waiting for you on the other side of doing this work. What could be so scary about that? So my message, the warning sign, is you have to feel that fear and do it anyway. Are you going to do it? Are you going to jump in even though it's cold, knowing that it's really cold? The water is freezing. I'm not going to lie. It is cold out there. But you have to decide what you want out there in the water is more important to you than being cold. And that if it is cold, you can handle it. You can make that decision. So no more giving into your fear. Have you guys heard the phrase burning your boats? Another person made that quote. I don't know who did it, but I didn't make it up, but it's a quote. And there's an old story that's tied to that, which is an old war story, and you don't want to hear all that. But basically it means that you're going to take this boat to the other side of the channel, dock your boat, and then burn it because there's no going back to where you came from. It's choosing a new life for yourself, a new way of being for yourself, and no going back. There's no going back. Being all in with whatever it is that you want. And so if you choose not to do that, your life will pass you by. And it's not going to be some guy coming along to fix it for you. It's just not. It's not about some guy. The right guy isn't going to come along and make it better for you. You have to make it better for you first. And then together you will make it better together. You don't have to be perfect before love comes along. You just have to be ready and willing and able to get out there your imperfect self. And together you will be perfect together. You'll be perfect together. That's it. So I hope this is ringing true for you guys, because 2022 is around the corner. And I can't tell you how many times women have said to me, I decided 2021 was going to be my year for love. Actually, they said 2020 was going to be my year for love. But then COVID hit, and that was an excuse. Okay, I want to tell you something else. My kids, not both my kids, actually one of my kids, but to spare his privacy, I won't tell you. Oh, well, I just said his, so now you know. Shit. My son sometimes gets really nervous and insecure before he's doing something. And he might make himself like get a stomach ache, or he might make himself get a headache. And we are always talking about this with him. How many of you guys have manifested a headache or a stomach ache, or you find an excuse as to why you don't have to do something? When my son plays baseball and he has a bad throw, I watch him do this thing where he shakes his hand. And I'm like, oh, Ben, please don't do that. Please don't do that. It's okay that you're not perfect and that you didn't have a good throw. It's not because your hand hurts, right? We make excuses for why we don't do something. And sometimes they're subconscious sabotaging reasons and excuses. We get hung up on a secondary problem so that we don't have to deal with the primary problem. Meaning, how about this one? And I'm just speaking from client experience over the many 20 years plus. When women feel insecure and nervous about their bodies and being close, and sometimes it's tied to sexual trauma, sometimes not. If they are overweight, then they don't have to have sex, or they don't have to be naked with a man, or they think that by being overweight, it gives them a reason or excuse that they can't have love, which is total BS, by the way. It's just a big fat lie, but this is the subconscious stuff. And so staying overweight in their mind makes them unappealing or unattractive or undesirable, so nobody will come to them. Or that's how I keep the bad people out. That's how I filter people. If they really love me anyway, despite being overweight, then they're a good person. And so the battle becomes dealing with weight loss your whole life instead of dealing with the fear of intimacy or healing the trauma. You get tangled up in a secondary problem instead of dealing with the primary problem. And that's all what I'm talking about, you guys. Not trusting yourself that whatever is out there, you can handle it. If you get your heart broken, you can handle it. Is it going to suck for a while? Fuck yeah, it's going to suck. Broken hearts are painful. But are you going to be okay? Yeah, you will be. And you'll be better for it. Every struggle, challenge, hardship, heartbreak, painful, uncomfortable experience I've ever had has been a gift for me in the long run. My program teaches this, and it is about teaching you resilience, teaching you emotional intelligence, how to name your feelings, feel your feelings, express your feelings, how to handle intimacy. What is healthy intimacy? Healing your traumas of your past. So for those of you who signed up to do the masterclass, whether it was in October when I was doing it live or in this, recorded version, I'm offering you the Ready for Love program right now. It is open for enrollment again. It opens and closes. And for the next few days, it's available with the bonus of the journal and the training that Jamie and I did, the live training recording of what to say when he does something awkward or weird or unnerving, how to handle those things. The DIY is open for enrollment right now. And if you think that signing on for a class is too scary or too risky, or what if it doesn't work for me, or what if it's too cold out there and I can't handle it? What if I look at myself and it's too hard? You're going to sit on that bench and your opportunity will pass you by. I almost missed out on the opportunity to set parasail. That was one of the funnest things I've ever done. And it was scary. I'm putting myself out there and showing up in an authentic way, but my own impatience is the hardest part. It's hard to be patient. I get it. I'm constantly working on my patience. But it's good to get impatient. I want all the rest of you to get impatient. Stop sitting around patient with being single or lonely or not having intimacy or not having good sex or not having a companion, not having an adventure partner. Be impatient. If you're too patient, time's going to pass you by. Part of it, Catherine, being impatient is a good thing. Those of us who are impatient, we get results fast. We make change fast. We implement fast. I walk fast, talk fast, move fast. I do everything fast. Only once in a while does it backfire and not work out. And so what? I get what I want. And I don't have to wait for very long most of the time. Okay. Any questions about the masterclass? For those of you who are here, who signed up, watching videos, the video from session 1, session 2, and session 3, doing the homework. I think I talk about fear a lot in day 2. Yes, I love reframing. Reframing is fun. I want to inspire you guys to take action. That's really what this is about. I don't want you to just patiently wait for something to change, because it won't. It's up to you. It really is up to you. You can have whatever it is that you want if you're willing to go after it, but you can't just jump out there without your life jacket on or your wetsuit on. Jump in the water, because everything you want is out there. And everyone else who's out there is having the time of their life while you dip your toe in. Your insides want it. Don't let your mind talk you out of it. But what if this and what if that? What if it doesn't work? What if I pay the money and it doesn't work? What if I sign up and I don't follow through? That's not going to happen. Don't sign up if you're not going to do it. But the women that signed up at our last open enrollment in October say this is like the most amazing thing they've ever done. And you're going to get more out of module 1 than all the therapy that you've done in your life. Seriously. So this is the last time I'm opening enrollment for Ready for Love DIY for the year. And if you sign up now, you will be able to be done probably by January 15th. I'm trying to think, like we've got, you'll be in 6 weeks time, 6 or 7 weeks, you will be ready. You'll be out there. 2022 can be your year for lots of things, not just love. I hope that you'll do it. Ready for Love VIP is always open, but right now we're offering those bonuses that go away. And you do have to apply under normal circumstances. Most of the time you have to apply for it, but I'm opening enrollment for that as well. So I'll put the link in the comments. Actually, let me do that right now for those of you. I think I have it here. I can just copy and paste. Yes, here's the link to the DIY. And post the comment. There you go. There you go. Oh, that was interesting. Okay. All right, you guys. Oh, now it's saying there's an error. Do you see it? Okay. I'm here to answer questions about the masterclass or the program for those of you who are not in it. The only thing that you have to fear is not fear itself. The only thing you have to fear is you. Why are you so scary? You're not. Don't be a voyeur sitting on the bench watching everyone else live it up and get what they want. You can be out there too. Okay? I think that was a powerful wake-up call. Making a decision, you guys, is brave. When you decide yes, then it's a hell yes. If you decide no, it's just not the right time. But if you do nothing, you are deciding. Doing nothing is doing something. When you do nothing, a decision is made for you. A lot of people do that, passenger living by default. I'm just not going to decide. I'm just going to ignore it and do nothing about it. And then the decision is actually made for you. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want decisions made for me. Make a decision. Be all in and do it. When I was counseling couples, I would say to them, be all in or get the fuck out. Be all in this marriage. Be all in this relationship or get out. But dipping your toe in, being half in and half out, that limbo land is excruciating. So don't say you want love or a relationship, but not do what you need to do to succeed. Be all in for you. Okay? You just finished module 6 and you've had so many insights. Yay! Yes, Patricia, that's amazing. By the way, Patricia and Catherine and anybody else who already signed up in October, we just sent an email about the group Q&A bonus call that's coming. We sent you the Zoom link and the form to fill out. It's December 17th. Passenger living describes you in so many areas of your life. Grab the wheel and be the pilot. Otherwise, you will get to the end of the line and you'll think, I missed it. I didn't do this. And why didn't I do that? And please, please don't be a passenger because someone else is at the wheel. Who's at the wheel of your life? Is it your mom still? Is it your ex-husband, your ex-boyfriend, your children, your boss? Who's at the wheel? I wouldn't want to acquiesce my power to someone else. It's like in my original webinar, the 5 Shifts webinar that many of you saw, I talk about being a passenger in your life is kind of like being a passenger in an Uber. But you have a rogue Uber driver and he just takes you where he wants to take you. And you're in the back seat and you're like, oh, I'm just along for the ride. You're not going to get to the destination that you want. You're going to get wherever he takes you. That's not what you want. We do that because we're afraid. We don't drive. We're not the pilot. We don't grab the wheel because we don't trust ourselves to drive. Okay? If you don't have a map and you don't know how to use a car and you don't know how to drive and you're scared of getting in an accident, are you going to grab the wheel? No, you're not. But if you are trained and you have a class and you're taught how, and then you get to practice and then you have somebody helping you and you're not scared anymore, will you grab the wheel? Yes, you will. So it's about figuring out the bridge to get from where you are now as passenger to becoming the pilot. What do you need? And then give it to yourself. Okay? So I hope this was helpful. It is the most important thing is to get your own back and to not just passively wait, because it's never going to happen. Even if Mr. Amazing came knocking on your door right now, 99.9% of you are not ready for him. You will Invite him to do the same old unhealthy dance that you've always done, the same disappointing dance that you've always done. Okay? You have to learn how to do a new dance. You have to recognize the right guy when he comes by. Instead of, ignoring him and thinking he's boring because there's no chemistry, maybe he's the one, but you wouldn't know it because you haven't first become the one where you know what you're doing and you trust yourself to discern. Okay? So that's what it takes, ladies. Oh my God, have I been talking for 45 minutes? Oh my God, time flies when you're having a good time. I love you guys. I love you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. If there are any follow-up questions or comments on the replay of this, please post them. My team and I will respond. If you didn't sign up for the masterclass and you still want it, I believe it's still available, but only for till the end of the day today. And then after that, it's gone. And then same with the DIY. The DIY, we have, I think, a few more days and then it closes. And I don't know when we'll be opening that up again. So I really want to encourage you to just jump in. You have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. Okay? And everything to gain. Everything to gain. Okay. Thanks for being here. I love you guys. Have a great week.